Hey guys, we will be starting where we left off on day 1, headed into day 2. And I have a few things that I want to share with you in regards to what we ran into and some of the solutions that might help you on board the Sun Princess. So let's get started.
One of the things that's a little bit different was the dining. We were not able to choose what kind of dining we wanted. You know, whether you want traditional or anytime, you still have to let them know in anytime dining, I'm going to be there at 5:30, 6:37, whatever that may be. There was no way to do that in the app. It constantly kept saying that everything was full, even with the specialty restaurants, which I do hear that those book out extremely far out. In the organization process of making sure that everybody was taken care of, my sister thankfully overheard someone asking and said to go to Butcher's Cut, which we did. And I will show you that in the process that they did there, which was very different than I've ever experienced anywhere else. And I liked it. Smooth sailing.
Thank you so much.
Peace out. How you doing?
I'm doing good. How about you?
I'm doing good. Why would I complain about being on a cruise ship?
Please don't complain.
The person who helped me out, Shweta, was great. It was so great that later she actually remembered our room. I went to ask a question because something wasn't in the app that we wanted to book, and she said our room, and we were just like, whoa. And if you have been on some of the lines where after the first day they can remember your name and remember your drink and remember, it is so impressive. And for her to have that level of customer service hit home. And I'm thinking to myself, I tell you guys to do your customer surveys. I'm all about that. I know I'm not going to remember all their names unless I actually got it on video and I can go back and recollect. I actually text myself if I'm not able to get a picture, what their name is, how it's spelled, and where I know them from, so I can go back later and give them the accolades that they deserve. And she was one of those people, and I'm like, wow, we're starting this off on the right foot. There have been a few bumps, I'm not going to lie, but it happens. We're people, and you're going to run into things that maybe somebody's having a bad day. Who knows? We'll go over all of that as the trip continues to see how everything is going to go, but overall, it has been a good day. The ship is big. We have gotten lost a couple times. Hopefully we will learn the ship by tomorrow, but we'll see. So as we go to take off, I don't know what it is about Fort Lauderdale, but my goodness, I come here and it's always raining. But that's okay. Still Florida, still fine. It rained a little bit in the morning. Then we probably about 45 minutes or so prior to us pulling out, it didn't just rain, there was lightning and thunder. I mean, I felt so bad for the guys outside. We actually have a different room than we normally do. We have an ocean view room on the 5th floor, and we'll see how that goes. Leaving when we did, the sun kind of set, so I can't see a lot. It is nice. You can actually see the waves where we're at. We can see out the window so far, but they've had to bring this sail away party inside because it just got too bad. It was awful. But the cruise director, Cole, and Ozzy, oh my goodness, I don't know where this dude gets his energy. I want some. I mean, if it's legal, haha, I'm kidding. But I cannot believe how much energy this guy has. He has 3 stripes, which, if you understand, that is a big deal for someone in HR or human resources as far as being a cruise director. This says a lot about him. But then you see how exuberant he is. Oh my goodness. I mean, it's just crazy. I'll put some of that in so that you guys can see here, but it was like, okay, all right. We got to dinner and Shweta took care of us. I told her, my sister and I kind of like to have it quiet if we can, if we possibly can, so that we can, talk and discuss, especially with me filming. If I'm filming something, I don't want to film somebody else while they're eating. That's just, I don't know, un faux pas if you ask me, my opinion only. I'm not comfortable doing that. So the table that we got could not have been more perfect. Perfect table. And Rolando, who is going to be our server, great, super guy. So the food was very good. I think my sister got a dessert that she didn't quite care for, but other than that, it was great. The International Cafe, which is something that everyone in Princess cannot stop raving about. It's just one of those things that if you're on Princess, you love that the International Cafe, being able to go there and get your coffee and, you know, the food that is included with that. We do have the Princess Plus package, and with that, we are able to have our coffees and our mocktails and enjoy some of those things. And it's been so easy for us to do that. And we look forward to that going forward. Well, guys, it is day 2 on the Sun Princess. And today was an eventful day. We were able to see some of the ship. Today is a sea day. We got up this morning and we actually had our coffee delivered to the room. And my sister usually gets like a Danish or something in the morning. I don't eat right away, but I do enjoy a cup of coffee because I'm usually up filming the sunrise or something. So I'm usually up quite early. We kind of took it slow in the morning, and it wasn't purposeful. It's just something that kind of happened. So we actually missed the dining room and went upstairs to the eatery or the buffet. And it was okay. Now, I didn't go back to the American diner. I only ate at the buffet that was right there. And they had over easy eggs. They had scrambled eggs. My sister wasn't too keen on those. I mean, I wouldn't say that they were powdered eggs, but she wasn't too keen on those. Bacon, corned beef hash, biscuits and gravy, which if you're from the South, we will loosely call it biscuits and gravy, okay? Plenty of fruit, plenty of yogurt, muesli. I mean, they had a lot to choose from. I understand if you go further back to the American diner, it's a little more Americanized, if you will, and a little bit more to choose from. It was fine for me for breakfast. I enjoy sitting down and actually having my breakfast in the dining room, but it was fine. It did what it needed to. And then, you know, we moved on. From breakfast, we went to the Dome. Dome. And there's so much about the Dome that is opinionated, if you will. I mean, it is, yes, we're going to like it. No, we're not going to like it. But even I research before I cruise, guys. I'm going to watch other YouTube videos if I haven't been on a ship, or if I'm, you know, if I'm looking at something. There are people that I like to follow that I feel have the same outlook when it comes to travel that I do. And I'm going to research. And it was so all over the place of, yes, I like the Dome. No, I don't like the Dome. Yes, it was a great place to sit. No, it wasn't a great place to sit. So it was one of those places I'm like, okay, I'm going to go see what this is about. I'm going to go see why this is so controversial, if you will. And let's see why. It was a beautiful setup. It is air conditioned, first of all. And oh my goodness, I have been in solariums before that are so-called air conditioned. And yes, it is probably, you know, maybe 5 degrees cooler, which is great when you're in the Caribbean. This wasn't 5 degrees cooler. This was, you opened the doors here that you're looking at, and immediately it would be like, if for those of you who live in a hot climate, whether it's Florida or Texas or somewhere else, where you know, are coming from outside to inside, and those doors open and it just hits you in the face. You felt that before the doors opened. You could feel that there was cool air coming out of that nice little sitting area where the waterfall, before you get into the Dome, and the Dome was almost as cool. The problem was they had Tai Chi first thing in the morning. So all of the loungers that you see here were not in place. So however many loungers that is, which it looks aplenty to me, didn't allow you to have, you know, a nice comfortable place to sit, which sounds so whatever, you know, you're on a cruise, but it's a nice place to sit, you know, if it's humid outside first thing in the morning. after that, you know, we go outside and I'm with my sister, and for no reason does she need to follow me around the ship while I'm filming. So she usually has her time, and, you know, I kind of like, okay, where are you going to sit? So I know where you're at. And it was hard to find a spot. It really was. And it wasn't that there wasn't a seat. It was, if you didn't want to sit in the sun, if you weren't there to enjoy the sun and you wanted to read a book or do something, it was hard to find one of those spots. As you see, it has, you know, 3 different tiers where it goes down once you come outside the dome. So there were places to sit, but that perfect spot that everyone is always looking for, and everybody's spot's going to be different, was a little hard for us. And she finally found one. And I will say that if you're coming out of the dome, the right side is going to be more quiet than the left side. That's what we found inside the dome and outside, because outside you still have loungers that go all the way down straight to the pool area. And early in the morning, this is before 11 o'clock. This is actually probably before 10 o'clock, but there was nobody there. I actually went and filmed a lot of the ship for you guys and came back to her. Well, I was a little overheated and did not want to sit in a place that was not in the shade, and the sun had kind of moved. So we went outside of the dome area, which, by the way, that is an adult only, 18 and up area. And we sat along the side in the shade in one of the loungers, and it was great. And about 11 o'clock, the ship came to life. It ended up where we started out not having, I think there was 2 that were sitting there quiet at the end. And when I say the end, they were probably 15 chairs down. And then another couple came maybe 30 minutes, 45 minutes after that and sat 3 or 4 chairs down. By the time 11 o'clock, and I would probably say a little before 11 o'clock hit, that's when the Lido bar opens. That's when the Lido Greens opens, the Lido Grill opens, your Lido Taco, and that is all your outside food there. A buffet style. Now, they serve you here on the Sun Princess, so it's a little bit different, but where that type of food is on the outside, which is great. We sat there for the longest time, just quiet, just enjoying our time. But it got to the point is what we say was a little bit too people-y. I mean, there were lounge chairs behind us. There was 10 maybe lounge chairs behind us. Those were even full. There was one lounge chair that separated me and another lady that she had her bag on. And there was a gentleman that came up and said, "Is the seat taken?" That was my cue. I was like, okay, we're done. There's plenty for us to do. So from there, we decided to see what entertainment was on the ship, and we went to, it's Family Feud on land, but for copyright purposes, it is Survey Says. And Nick was one of the staff that was there overseeing this, and let me just tell you, his sense of humor was hysterical. He had a group that he was dealing with. And when I say dealing with, I don't mean there's any animosity or there was anything there. It's just some people like to be heard and be a little bit louder than others, and that was this kind of group. And it took so much longer to actually play the game because of interjections. He handled it beautifully.
Well, it looks like you're trying to gouge your eyes out. You're tired. You look beautiful. Okay. All right. You can have a seat now.
Great personality, great sense of humor. We would giggle through that. So we played that game and actually enjoyed it. We didn't think we would. We were there to, film a little bit for you guys and just kind of people watch and enjoy it. And we ended up playing it ourselves and had a very good time. From there, we went to Deal or No Deal. So that, once again, the cruise director, Cole, was in charge of that, and that was hysterical. I ended up meeting with the lady who was actually the contestant and giving her a couple of cards. They were there, as you saw, with a big group from Michigan.
Come on, shake it, baby. Well, you look like you just did football with that move. All right. You learned. I'm so proud of you. Let's get back to the game.
and letting her know, just email me and I'll give you the content that I filmed for you so that you can actually appreciate what was going on, because I'm looking down and I'm not seeing one person filming, and I'm like, okay, I'll film this and I'll give it to her. I did leave out that while we were sitting outside for the hour or so that we were outside, when the Lido Greens opened, we both got a salad. I got a Cobb salad. What'd you get, sis? My sister got what we'll call a Southwest style salad. I don't remember the actual name of it. And I got a Cobb salad. And I just wanted just a little bit. And I'm not going to lie to you guys. I ate almost the whole salad except for the cucumbers. If I would have known he was going to put cucumbers on there. Anyway, it was fine even with the cucumbers being on the side. I enjoyed that salad. There was a lady that got in line with me, and she said, I'm over here because I hear that this salad is even better than what they have upstairs. And I'm like, we'll see. It was so, so good. For those of you who like salad, it was so good. They were not chintzy with anything. It was so good. From there, we came back to the room. It was time for me to charge some of this equipment and unload some of it. I actually did a little bit of editing for a Tuesday video and decided what we're going to do, from then on. It was like, let's look at the menu for tonight, see what's in store for us. Our dinner was at 5. So we did what we needed to and then headed off to dinner. Gosh, it sounds like we went from one meal to the other, but I promise there were many hours that went by between the time we had the salad to the time we went to dinner. But again, I got to see Rolando and we enjoyed our dinner very much. My sister had, I think it was beef tenderloin. I'll let you see it here. And then I had the ravioli, and what I thought it was going to be when showed up at my table when I took a bite were two totally different things. And what I mean by that was, you think you have, if you've had it before, a dish, and when something like elevates and just changes and it's like, whoa, I don't know what they added to this to make it just better. It was really fresh and really good. I was impressed. I was very happy with it. There are dishes that you can get dessert-wise that if it says by Cecile on it is pretty much a, 4-star kind of upgraded dessert. I got one the first night that I enjoyed very much. My sister got one of those tonight. Same thing. It's just that you have an idea of what something is going to taste like, and it just blows you out of the water. So if you're going on Princess, if you don't already know this, if anything says by Cecile as far as the desserts, as long as you like whatever it's going to be, I promise you'll love it. It's very well done. We normally get a coffee after dinner. Dinner service took a little bit longer tonight. Overall, it wasn't just our waiter. It was just overall, it's just one of those nights that for whatever reason, it took a little bit longer. So I didn't want to sit there and have the coffee. We went to the International Cafe and just got a coffee. As we were making our way to the atrium, we passed some music there, which trombone player, and just great music as we headed to the atrium where there was going to be jazz music. There was a saxophonist, and it was really, really good. They started out with a kind of quieter music and kind of moved to what they considered more modern. And people started getting on the dance floor and definitely enjoying their time. A few even wanted to show off a little bit, and they did. They did a very good job. It was about 8 when we were done. And yes, guys, I go to bed early on a cruise ship because I am up so early. Unless there's something function-wise that I need to film. I come back and do my editing and do what I got to do. Called the hubbies, let them know how our day went. And we actually watched season 1, episode 1 of The Love Boat. And if you don't know, many of you Princess people already know what I'm going to say. The Love Boat is actually Princess Cruises. So in the beginning of Princess Cruises, which I will put the ship up here for you guys, we had this tiny, tiny little ship that was Ship of Ships. And that was where Princess came from. So the horn actually on Princess Cruises is the theme song of The Love Boat. So there's a lot of nostalgia there. There's a lot of history there. I personally think they should lean into it a little bit more, but maybe it's because of the generation I'm from. That They are known as a love boat. They have shirts that say, that. They have different things that they're always referring to with that. But I love the history there. So if you didn't know that, maybe look into that and you can understand why there's a lot of people that actually stay with Princess and love Princess for that very reason. But after that, like I said, we were done, off to bed. So day 2 went down. Day 3 is to come, and we'll see what day 3 brings us. Day 3 is going to be in Cozumel, Mexico. It is actually going to be in a different port that I have been to in a very, 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 very long time, and I know that they've made some changes, so I'm actually looking forward to this. So we will see what that brings us, and I'll see you again on day 3. So thanks, guys. Don't forget to subscribe, guys. For those of you who are, I see you and I appreciate you. We'll see you on day 3.